hospital who is possibly affected for the rest of his life.
He was just trying to break something up.
One guy sees something, misinterprets it, or whatever the situation. I don't know what made him throw the punch. Hits this kid and hurts him bad. He's still in the hospital. They're saying he is unresponsive, with the exception of when they say his name, they get a little bit on the screen. They get a little bit of a reaction out of him. Other than that, they're saying he's not responding to anything.
All over a screaming match.
Right. This is the last update that I've got. Now, I don't know. I haven't got one today from our people down there. That's the last time that dude ever shows up at my racetrack.
Well, sounds like he's going to.
He's been arrested.
I was going to say, he's not, probably doesn't have to worry about going to a racetrack.
Right. He's been arrested, as he should be. Okay? Never again. There is no place for that. I understand drivers, crew members, fans, people get upset. This is the thing. If somebody has an issue to settle, it should be settled amongst the drivers. Mm-hmm. Okay? Let them handle it.
Even though we don't like that happening. That
And I'm not saying go out and wreck each other.
Right.
Do what you got to do to settle it, but let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. At least let's address this issue. If we got to sit down like NASCAR does with their big red holler or whatever it is, do something to, put some attention to it and get it done. For that to take place in the pit area at the tech scales, unbelievable.
At Bakersfield.
Of all places.
Yeah.
I mean, that is honestly, in all the places I've been.
It's happy there.
That's a great way to explain it. It really is.
Happy place.
It really is. I feel bad for that young man's family.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't had an update today.
I'm sure as the week goes on, we'll get some more updates. But
we will.
In the end, it's just such a sad situation.
What if that young man never comes back around?
Yeah.
He's 20 years old, you guys.
All over a scuffle in the pits.
Between two people that had nothing to do with on the racetrack.
Yeah. This
is where there has to be some type of consequences. And this is why racetrack say drivers are responsible for their crew. This is a prime example of why. What do you do? What do you do in a situation like that? Obviously, you're not coming back.
Right, and on top of it, at all these tracks, nobody has bouncers.
Right. Security is one thing. You don't. Like you said, who has that?
Right.
Really?
At Willamette, we had, the fire rescue crew had to do it last year.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
That's not their job.
It's not their job.
They're there to keep people safe, not to break up fights.
Where they're not referees.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be, and we shouldn't even have to worry about that. You know what I mean? We really shouldn't.
No.
Never again are you welcome at this race. I will say this. That team had a big-time sponsor, corporate sponsor. That team had 4 cars coming to the racetrack. What I've been told from people close to the situation, that team no longer has that sponsor.
Yeah, I couldn't see any sponsor
Think about that.
attached to that. I mean, seriously, the publicity that goes along with it isn't anything in any way, shape, or form good.
Right. So you let your anger get a hold of you. Now you're arrested. Possible manslaughter charges, if not murder, if this kid dies, and you've lost your sponsor. That's minor in this situation.
Right.
Now you can't come back to that racetrack, all because you didn't take 1 second
to think
about it. And this is what makes me mad. I get a little heated talking about stuff like this. This is what makes me mad. Whoa. Answer that.
No.
Baby, I got.
This is why. I number one, you look like a complete jackass doing that.
Right.
I say that because not at the racetrack, but I've been that guy.
Okay. When there's a bar fight, what do? Typically, they go outside.
Right.
Why wouldn't they do the same?
Right.
If you really had to fight somebody that bad, why wouldn't you just walk away and go somewhere else?
Right.
If it had to come down to that. Okay, I'm going really extreme here. There's no excuse for any of it, but if it had to come down to that, you involve racetracks, you involve people, it's just way out of hand.
Absolutely. Totally 100%. No excuse for it. I've been that guy that acted like a jackass, that's been that idiot that didn't take that 1 second to think about what I was doing.
I know. I keep my refrigerator locked up from you.
And I can say what I'm saying from experience, you guys. And I'll tell you right now, when it was me, it was one of my good friends. Taking the time to think about what you're doing and the possible consequences, I had to learn the hard way, is very important. There's no excuse for it.
Well, you're what, 40?
44.
44, and you've grown up.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now in my 20s, I'll be the first to say I was a complete idiot. I was a punk.
Oh, I still kind of think you are.
Well, a little bit.
You were around for that time.
That's right. Sam was there. He saw some of this stuff.
Yeah.
He was part of the instigator that, he started a lot of it.
I heard Sam started the whole thing.
He did.
Usually. But I finish most things I start. Most.
I'll tell you right now, that guy, 100-meter dash, he's fast.
If a lion's chasing us, you're dying.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I am disgusted by that.
Like I said, it's
right here. My crew never gets involved with what happens on the track. They know it's between the drivers. They may not be happy, but they stay out of it. As the driver of your team, and they say, whether you own that team or not, you're the driver, you're the face of that team, they say the driver's responsible for their team.
I mean, we've had people come into our pit. Usually we just kind of look at them, but, it usually goes away. But the point is people come over to talk, or they want to talk, and then they just usually turn around and go away. And maybe that's what has to happen. If that's what makes you feel better, great. But, it's one of those things. It's like I don't have kids, but if I did, it's like you don't want your kids seeing this. You don't want any of this.
Right.
Because it's not proving any sportsmanship whatsoever.
No, you've got fans that are looking at you. You got sponsors that are looking at you. You got kids that look up to you.
Yeah.
You're a racer. Bottom line is you're out there to win or have fun if you're Dom.
Thank you.
So basically, if you can't figure out how to beat them on the track and get the W and be competitive, maybe you should go find a driver that can, or maybe you should sell your car and find
Maybe
another
pick up
hobby.
tennis
Right.
or something.
We've got our call in. We've got Mike Patterson from Bakersfield. Mike calling us. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How you guys doing out there?
We are doing good. We're sitting here in the AMCO Total Car Care studio talking about the Strawberry Cup at Willamette. We're talking about the action at your track, the situation. We'll call it the situation that took place there. And I was telling these guys I haven't had an update on the young man that is went to the hospital. Do you have any updates on him? And can you kind of talk about? You were there. You were part of not part of it, but you were there firsthand. I'm kind of giving these guys a summary of what I've been told. Can you kind of clarify that situation for us and kind of give us a lowdown?
First off, my thoughts and prayers go out to this young man and his family, because that's a tough thing to deal with. You plan on going out to an event to go have fun, and then you end up, trying to family's fighting for a win on the racetrack, and now you're fighting for your life in a hospital.
Right.
I mean, the good part about it is, from what I understand, he is stable, in stable condition. That's all I've heard so far.
Well, that's good news.
From the family. Yeah, but from what I understand, it was disagreements between crew members, and this young man intervened in it, and somebody else didn't like the way he intervened, and he got hit upside the head and got basically knocked unconscious.
Unbelievable. Terrible.
It is. It's horrible, and I'm not going to name any names, but I know everybody that's involved, and I know, like I said, everybody is involved, and it sucks because, us as announcers, we get to know drivers and their families more than some of the fans do because we're down there every week with them talking, learning sponsors and stuff like that, so we get to know them on a more personal level.
Right.
And it hurts. And racing is a family, and it's an extended family. And sometimes family members argue, but, we still stick together, and we need to still stick together instead of, hitting each other and hurting each other.
No doubt about it. We're there to have fun, have a good time. It is not the most important thing in life, and it's definitely not worth ruining the lives of multiple families to act this way and do what was done.
Right. We all know when we strap in a car that we're putting our life on the line because we're racing. We don't need to worry about, okay, when I take my helmet off, am I still fighting for my life?
Right.
We should, okay, helmet's off, it's time to take a big deep breath, relax, let the adrenaline drop, and go, okay, that was it. Time to move on. And what a couple of you guys were saying, I overheard talking about if you can't beat them, sell your car or find somebody who can. No, if you can't beat them, put more laps in the car and learn. Every race is going to be different. Every time out on the track, it's going to be something different. You might be faster on a certain style track. You might be faster one weekend because he's got issues or she's got issues. Don't give up on your car or your team because of it. That's part of the competition part of it. You want to get better. You don't get better by selling your stuff.
Right. No, I'm in it more in if you can't conduct yourself and handle yourself in a manner that you're not going to be helping your sport you love, then maybe you find another sport.
Absolutely. If you're not going to, you might not be racing for millions of dollars, but when you sit inside a car, you're a professional.
Yeah.
Act that way.
Well, and there's that old saying that, my argument to stuff like this is even though you're not a professional race car driver, at least act professional.
Exactly. I mean, technically the whole word of professional means you get paid to do what you do. You're getting paid by your sponsors to put your car out on the track. You're getting some sort of money back. Technically that falls under professionalism. It might not be enough to cover your expenses, but you're still getting something out of it. So you got to treat yourself that way. Everybody who puts their name on the car, their blood, sweat, and tears on the car, are investing in you. And you need to return that favor by showing the utmost professionalism while you're representing those people.
Absolutely. So we know the guy that threw the punch has been arrested. Am I right when I say that? We know that he was arrested. Do you know what the charges were?
He has been released. And he is, I guess, waiting his day in court, I guess. I haven't heard too much from that half of the situation.
Do you know what the actual charges were? Was it just a simple assault, or was it? I mean, this could end up being really bad.
I understand it was assault.
It was what?
Assault.
I wonder what degree. I mean, this could be a really bad thing, depending on what happens with this kid, for the rest of his life.
Right.
And that,
it absolutely can. I mean, it can be, not only is it already life-altering for the kid, but it can be life-altering for this gentleman and his family, too.
Both
I know
families.
his family, and I know his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to suck.
So the way I understand it is that team has received a ban for the rest of the year. Was that the consequences that I saw?
I have not heard or seen that one yet.
I thought I read that somewhere, and I that's why I'm asking you, because I know that you're closer to that situation. You might know. I thought I saw that they weren't coming back they weren't allowed to come back for the remainder of the season.
I can't confirm or deny that one because I just don't know yet. I haven't seen it.
I'll have to